Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Handmade. Today, I'm going to make a crash test of these two BMW's M5 cars made of plasticine clay. I'll just remind you a little about them, since the whole review you've already seen in the previous video. I have used the hard NSP plastiline and plasticine clay for the creation of these cars. For the first time, I made two identical cars at once. They differ only in color, otherwise they are identical. I made these cars to crash them and compare the damage. It took me 142 hours and 16 days to create these BMWs. They are detailed very well. You can check out the engine, interior, and bottom. In order to crash them more or less realistically, I used foil in the process of creation. I tightly attached it to the parts of the car body. It is necessary to make the model more durable, so it can keep the desired shape. Also, thanks to the foil, the bends look more realistic after the crash. Also, I made a frame for the entire body, as in real cars, even if it is very simplified, but this method is suitable for crash tests. I attached the body parts to this frame. Both cars have fully functioning running gear, so the wheels can rotate. I used the blueprints to create these BMWs. Also, I took a look at it in the game Forza Horizon 4 and in 3ds Max. That's how I made these cars. Here's how I'm going to destroy these BMWs. The first BMW, I'll crash the RC car. And by the way, it will be a Cybertruck, which body is also made of plasticine clay. It has a flat ram attached to its bumper. It'll help to destroy the car. It will be driven along the track and crashed at the BMW at the end. The second BMW, I'll drop to the floor from the 7 feet. The Cybertruck has such a ram to make the crash as realistic as possible. Thanks to these crash tests, we will find out what is better, to break the car in the usual way or drop it from a height, and what looks more spectacular. I also updated the crash test site. And after all, I still decided to use the sponges to soften the hits. I've attached a small wall to the sponges, so the hit won't be that serious. The resulting damage does not reflect in any way what would happen to a real car in a similar situation. This is just an imitation of what could have been. This is my entertainment content for you, so you should not judge strictly. The plasticine cars and the real ones are different. BeamNG.drive will help us to understand how it might be. Tesla was accelerating too much. That is why the BMW was clamped hard on both sides. As we can see, a wall with soft sponges is particularly useless. Although the car was squeezed quite hard, it turned out to be strong. The front part just became flat. The hood bent in a strange shape. It has some kind of too smooth bend. Everything also became flat at the back. The side fenders were slightly bent. Even orange plasticine is visible. This is part of the car frame. The trunk remained intact, but the rear window flew out. From the side, you can see that the roof has become higher, and the front door and rear wheel arch have also bent a little. That's what happened to the engine. Everything just got thicker here. Such damage was caused during the first collision. Now I will drop the red BMW on the front. That's the result of the drop. The hood bent as it was supposed to. The car fell at an angle, as I didn't manage to drop it smoothly. The car also slightly hit the trunk. It just bent a little, although it was barely noticeable, and the glass broke out from the fasteners. If you compare the damage, you can see from the front that the blue BMW looks much worse, due to the fact that it is clamped on both sides. It received much more damage, but it is pointless to compare them, since the damage conditions are different. I thought that both of the results would be more or less similar, but this is not the case. Now I will try again to make the red BMW fall to the front part. It fell on the same side. It is impossible to drop it smoothly. Of course, it is even more bent now. From below, it is quite noticeable how everything is clamped here. The hood bent even more, and it already came off from the fasteners. And that's how badly was the engine damaged after this drop. On the other side, the front fender has already bent due to the second collision. Now I will drop it on the rear part. That was hard. Look how much the rear part bent. I'm shocked, though the trunk still remained intact. The paint on this whole part is cracked. The rear fender just peeled off from the frame. Now it is broken harder than the blue BMW. On the other side, nothing really happened. Only the bumper came off from the fasteners. That's what happened to the bottom. Also, because of the drop, the driver's seat just came off. It is now moving all around the compartment. Now I'll crash into the rear part of the blue BMW. Though it doesn't look like a BMW anymore, the rear collision finally finished off the BMW. Just look how badly the rear part crashed. It was very hard. You can see the orange plasticine. These are the elements of the frame. The roof of the BMW has become even higher. The doors are quite firm. There isn't much damage here. Now you can compare the damage of two BMWs. Obviously, the blue one is broken much worse. Of course, this is due to the fact that it was additionally clamped in front, while it didn't happen with the red one. It was just dropped and that's it. Only the right part of the back of the red car is bent, while the blue one is totally crashed from both sides. As for the front, the blue one looks much worse, and all the doors of the red BMW are absolutely intact. Now I'll drop the red BMW sideways, and we'll check what would happen. I failed this drop, as the car fell on the wheels, but not sideways. Only the roof bent, and it became lower. Basically, nothing has changed. This time I managed to do it better. The car fell on the side and landed on the roof. Here you can clearly see that the engine is slightly sticking out. It has become higher than it was. Also, after the drop, there appeared such a flat bend on this side. That's what happened. The doors moved a little into the interior, in the middle of the car. On the other side, it became smoother, due to the fact that it was clamped. It was the last crash. That's what happened to them after all. it can be seen that the red one received much less damage than the blue BMW. Based on this experience, we found out that it is difficult to make similar damage conditions. There are many factors that can influence the result, and which must be taken into account. Now you have clearly seen what a normal crash test and dropping a car from a height looks like, and what kind of damage they can cause. I'm interested to find out what you liked more, a regular crash test or dropping a car from a height. From now, these BMWs will be laying on the shelf of broken plasticine cars. I hope this video was interesting for you, so if you like my unusual plasticine creativity, subscribe to my channel and like the video. I will hone my craft to please you with the new, improved plasticine cars. Thanks for watching my video. See you!